Hey guys, welcome to another edition of our daily challenge. Today's sentence is coming from the book Divergent, and we have with us three different sentences here, including uh, a quote. Okay, so we haven't seen those in a while. Now, again, just like we always do, we're going to divide these out according to the punctuations. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so we have a little bit of separation. And notice right away, once we've done this, we see the structure of how the sentence is progressing in this short quotation from the book. So now let's find subject and predicate. Aptitude tests today does not include a verb, or does it? Okay. Here's the thing. When you look at the subject, which is tests, okay, what kind of tests? They're aptitude tests. There's once again an implied predicate, are. Okay, so it's left out of the actual sentence, but it's implied in the English language. Now, this is to explain it. This comes from I guess an old tradition, a classical tradition, especially. We see a lot of that in Latin and Greek, where you intentionally leave out verbs to be when they're not necessary to be placed. So if I say, "Hey, aptitude tests today," you immediately understand aptitude tests are today, or they're going to be aptitude tests today. So at first you may think, wow, there's no predicate here, this can't be a sentence. There is, it's just implied. Okay, next subject is I, and predicate is say. So that was easy. Next, Caleb, subject is, and now once again, remember these are all either auxiliary verbs or linking verbs. They are auxiliary verbs if there is a verb following it. Okay, if there isn't, the chances are that you are not dealing with an auxiliary verb. You're dealing with a linking verb, which is going to take something that's a noun on this side and is going to describe Caleb on that other side. So not quite in this case is an adverb. Okay, so we see that this is a linking verb, right? It's not a auxiliary verb. Next, so is an adverb. Okay, it starts a clause. And then we got the subject, we. And then are. And again, another linking verb. Okay, why? Because the next word right beside are is a preposition in. So we have a linking verb. Next sentence, he. And then nods. Oops, sorry, wrong color there. He nods. Okay. And then we have my muscles. And again, please, I know a lot of people usually always try to go for the my as the original subject. But remember about those pesky possessives. They usually always go in front of the noun they modify. So you don't want to have this as your subject. The correct answer is muscle. Okay, muscles, and then we have the predicate tighten. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subject predicates so far in this exercise, and let's continue on with looking at all the other noun cases, and perhaps we will also discover any more clauses that exist here. So aptitude tests, we've done that, are when, they are today, and today is going to be an adverb, right, indicating when some things are. Caleb is not quite a year. So here it is, a year older, and this is where the predicate nominative okay, is happening. Year is an adjective. He's a year older, older describing Caleb. But here's the important part, and we've already talked about the different degrees of adjectives. Remember, descriptive, comparative, and we've also talked about superlative. And if you can't remember, please go back to the previous video. I believe I've mentioned it there for you, and I've given you guys a breakdown. Whenever you see an ER, oh, he's older. Usually a comparative adjectives are going to compare to something else, and they're going to be followed by then. And here it is, right here. See that? Then. And then we have the comparison that Caleb is made to. A comparison is made between Caleb and the narrator. So I, subject, predicate, am. Okay? There you go. Okay, remember, comparative adjectives are going to be comparing something to something else. And many times I catch you guys whenever you're writing, you will use, this is a better idea, but then you stop. What's it a better idea then? Okay, always remember, when using comparatives, compare them to something. Complete your thought. Okay, so introduces a clause. Okay, this is known as a result clause. Okay, so Caleb is not quite a year older than I am, with the result that, okay, we are in the same year at school. Okay, so the result of Caleb not being quite a year older is that we are at the same school. And right here we are, and we have the preposition in, and the object of the preposition is year, and same is an adjective. And then we look, we got another preposition, at, and then we have school, the object of the preposition. Awesome. Next, he nods. He nods is a verb of motion. Remember, verbs of motion do not, right? They do not take a direct object. And I'm going to keep repeating that all the time because it's very, very important to know. A lot of you guys, a lot of students, and no worries, it's not nothing against you guys. It's just, we never really covered it. Verbs of motion can only affect something indirectly. Me going to school does not affect the school in any way. Okay, it impacts it indirectly because I'm going there, but doesn't impact it directly. It's the reason why verbs of motion don't do it. And what we see happening after he nods is we get this adverb introducing a temporal clause, something happening at the same time as something else is happening. And notice how the English does it. It separates it with this awesome adverb right here, and then it puts in a subject and a predicate. We pass. Okay. Now again, if you thinking to yourself, Mr. G, yes, pass could also be a verb of motion, and you're right, it is, because it does not have a direct object and it's followed by a preposition. Through what? The front doors, or the doors, object of the preposition. Okay, so two verbs of motion in one sentence to kind of give you guys an idea of how those things work. Okay, last but not least, my muscle tighten. Okay, tightening something is not necessarily a verb of motion, it's an action verb. Okay, but here it is. The verb tighten is responding not to a direct object, but isn't it affecting muscles? Okay, so here we have a passive verb. Okay, my muscles tighten themselves. It's a passive. The action is actually being put on the muscles. The second we walk in, look at that, introducing another adverb of time, and we have we and the predicate walk. And in here is a preposition, but in this case, because it's not followed by anything, it's also acting as an adverb. How do we walk? We walk in. Wow! So look how many subject predicates, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 subject predicate verbs are here in just a short section of the story. So you could do quite a lot. if you know your clauses and you're separating everything according to the rules. Okay, so 9 different verb tenses. We're going to start with the first one, which is tests are, right? So that's third person plural, and it's present, definitely active, and it's definitely indicative. Awesome. Then we have I say, which is first person singular, present, active, indicative. Now, you see how I'm adding active this time? Because these are not passive verbs. And we've learned something in these challenges as we've gone along, that active verbs will either take a direct object, or if they're verb of motions, they won't. And passives are going to be acting on the subject. Now, Caleb is, we have third person, singular, present, active, indicative. And then we have I am, which is another first person singular, present, active, indicative. We are is going to be first person plural, present, active, indicative. Wow. And he nods is third person singular, present, active, indicative. We pass is first person plural, present, active, indicative. And then my muscles. So muscles, plural, third person plural, but it is not going to be active. It's actually going to be passive. Okay, so the second one is passive. And then we walk in is another first person plural, present, active, indicative. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we got 2 third person plurals, 2 first person plural, singulars, 2 third person singulars, and 3 first person plurals. Okay, again, thank you so much for watching this challenge today. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. And I hope to catch many of you guys on the comprehension challenge today and workshop. We'll have some more comprehension challenges to do next week. But other than that, I'm hoping you're enjoying the stories. I'm hoping you're enjoying the challenges. And I'm waiting to see some more of your essays. And please stop by. I'm here to help. Can't wait to see your work. Have a great day, guys. Take care. And again, fantastic weekend. Sun's coming out on Sunday. Should be good. Bye-bye.